Two icons, two philosophies. The Indian Scout Bobber leans on American V-twin muscle and a low, aggressive stance, while the Triumph Bonneville Bobber counters with British parallel twin character and hidden modern engineering. Here's how these blacked-out bobbers stack up against each other. Both bikes commit fully to bobber aesthetics, but from different cultural traditions. The Scout Bobber goes blacked out front to back, with chopped bobber fenders, a solo seat, a blacked headlight nacelle, 16-inch cast wheels wrapped in wide sidewall Pirelli MT60 RS tires, and bar-end mirrors, an aggressive, stripped-down American custom look built for immediate visual impact. The Bonneville Bobber leans into British formidable spirit styling, a muscular tank, new lightweight aluminum wire-spoke wheels, a distinctive LED headlight with DRL signature, and twin slash-cut silencers that contribute to its deep, throaty exhaust note. Triumph also expanded its 2026 color palette. Both are genuinely striking. The choice largely comes down to whether a rider is drawn to minimalist American blackout styling or Triumph's more detailed, retro-industrial finish. Indian Scout Bobber runs a completely redesigned 1250cc Speed Plus liquid-cooled V-twin, a ground-up update from the previous Scout platform's 1133cc mill, paired with a responsive 6-speed transmission built specifically around the new architecture. Triumph sticks with its familiar 1200cc liquid-cooled parallel twin built on the same SOHC 270-degree crank architecture that's powered the Bonneville family for years, tuned here with a hot rod character specific to the Bobber and fed by ride-by-wire electronic fuel injection. The Indian's larger displacement and modern engineering give it a technical edge on paper, while the Triumph's proven twin trades outright novelty for a well-sorted, characterful power delivery that riders already trust. Its 270-degree crank also produces the distinctive, uneven exhaust cadence that's become a signature of the modern Bonneville family. The Scout Bobber's Speed Plus 1250 produces 105 horsepower and 82 pound-feet of torque, peaking at 6,300 RPM, giving it a genuine performance advantage over most Bobber-style cruisers on the market today. The Bonneville Bobber makes a claimed 77 horsepower at 6,100 RPM, but counters with 78 pound-feet of torque arriving much earlier, at just 4,000 RPM. In practice, the Indian pulls harder at the top end and wins on paper, while the Triumph's torque curve favors low RPM roll-on grunt. Riders can surf the mid-range and higher gear without constantly working the shifter, which makes the Bonneville feel effortless in stop-and-go traffic, even though its peak numbers trail the Scouts. For riders chasing outright acceleration and passing power, the Indian is the clear winner. For riders who value smooth, low-end pull over big peak figures, the Triumph delivers where it counts most in daily riding. The Scout Bobber uses a 6-speed, gear-driven wet clutch, paired with a belt final drive, a combination favored for its low maintenance, quiet operation, and smooth power delivery, with no chain to lubricate or adjust. The Bonneville Bobber pairs its 6-speed gearbox with a wet, multi-plate slip-and-assist clutch, which lightens lever pull at stoplights and reduces rear-wheel hop on aggressive downshifts, a feature that also helps make the Bobber more approachable for newer riders. Neither transmission is a weak point. The choice mostly comes down to whether riders prefer belt drive simplicity and lower long-term maintenance, or the lighter clutch feel and traditional character of Triumph setup. The Indian holds a clear weight advantage. Scout Bobber trims come in at 522 pounds dry and 542 pounds wet, noticeably lighter than the Bonneville Bobber's roughly 553 pounds wet weight. That 10-plus pound gap, combined with the Scout's more compact 61.5-inch wheelbase, translates to a bike that feels quicker to tip into corners and easier to maneuver at low speeds, a meaningful factor for newer riders or anyone navigating tight city streets and parking situations. The Bonneville Bobber isn't heavy by cruiser standards, and its 59.1-inch wheelbase and 25.4-degree rake keep it reasonably agile despite the extra mass. But riders moving between the two back-to-back will notice the Scout's lighter feel first at a stop sign or in a parking lot U-turn. Indian markets the Scout Bobber's 25.6-inch laden seat height as industry-leading for the segment, and it shows. Shorter riders will find flat footing easy and mounting the bike stress-free. Triumph's Bonneville Bobber sits slightly taller at 27.2 inches, 690 millimeters, though it's still low relative to most standard motorcycles. For 2026, Triumph widened and re-padded the Bobber's floating seat specifically to improve comfort on longer rides, addressing a common complaint about the previous seat's minimal cushioning. Riders prioritizing the lowest possible reach to the ground will lean Indian. Those logging longer mileage may appreciate Triumph's comfort-focused seat update. The Scout Bobber's slammed stance comes from a 41mm telescopic front fork delivering 4.7 inches, 120 millimeters of travel, paired with dual rear shocks limited to just 2.0 inches, 51 millimeters of travel. Neither end is adjustable, and the setup is tuned firmly for stance over compliance. The Bonneville Bobber takes a more engineering-forward approach. 47mm Showa cartridge forks up front with 3.5 inches, 90 millimeters of travel, and a hidden linkage-assisted KYB monoshock out back with adjustable spring preload, concealed within the bike's minimalist rear end to preserve the classic hardtail look while still delivering more usable travel and at least some tunability. For riders who care about ride quality over broken pavement, the Triumph setup is both more sophisticated and more adjustable, even if it's better hidden. The Bonneville Bobber runs twin 310mm front discs with Brembo 2-piston sliding axial calipers, plus a 255mm rear disc with a Nissan single-piston caliper, all backed by lean-sensitive optimized cornering ABS and cornering traction control fitted as standard. So every Bobber leaving the factory carries that safety net regardless of trim. The Scout Bobber runs a smaller single 298mm front disc with a 2-piston caliper and a single 298mm rear disc with a 1-piston caliper. Adequate for the bike's weight, but noticeably less hardware than the Triumph's dual-disc front setup and without cornering-specific ABS or traction control at the base trim. Stepping up to the Scout Bobber's Limited or Limited Plus Tech trims adds ride modes, traction control, cruise control, keyless ignition, and a Ride Command touchscreen display with GPS navigation, but doesn't add front braking hardware. Riders who want the strongest standing brake package and cornering-aware electronics without upgrading trims or paying extra will find the Triumph's base model setup more complete out of the gate, though Indian's top trims ultimately close the electronics gap once optioned up. The Scout Bobber holds a meaningful pricing advantage, with base trims starting well under $12,000 before options, significantly more accessible than the Bonneville Bobber's $14,795 starting price, which climbs to $15,395. For riders on a budget, the Indian delivers more horsepower, less weight, and a lower seat for less money, without requiring an upgrade to a pricier trim to get a genuinely complete motorcycle. The Triumph's higher starting price reflects its more premium electronics package, standard cornering ABS and traction control, Brembo brakes, and the brand's reputation for finish quality and resale value. But it asks a real premium for those extras, one that grows further once a rider factors in Indian's more affordable accessory and customization catalog, which includes more than 100 options for personalizing the Scout Bobber. The Scout Bobber and Bonneville Bobber both nail the Bobber brief, just from opposite directions. The Indian is the harder-charging, lower-priced, lower-seated option. More horsepower, less weight, and real savings, making it the stronger pick for riders who want performance and value without chasing trim levels. The Triumph counters with superior standing electronics, a more refined hidden suspension setup, and that unmistakable British character and torque-rich low-end pull, justifying its higher price for riders who prioritize refinement and technology as standard rather than optional. Budget-focused riders and those wanting outright power should lean toward the Scout Bobber. Riders who value electronic safety nets, chassis sophistication, and Triumph's heritage appeal should spend the extra for the Bonneville Bobber. Either way, both bikes prove the bobber segment is thriving in 2026, with two very different, very capable answers to the same stripped-down style brief.